everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we will look at Evocación, the first movement of the Suite del Recuerdo by Argentine guitarist and composer José Luis Merlin. Merlin is a well-known guitarist and teacher who also studied with Abel Carlevaro, and his music often reflects South American folk influences. The title Evocación means evocation or bringing a memory or feeling to mind. The whole suite is written in remembrance of the people who disappeared during the time of the military junta in Argentina, and this first movement sets a reflective and lyrical tone to the beginning of the suite. In this tutorial, we will go through the musical character, phrasing, and some practical technical tips to help you shape this piece. Now, let's begin. Now, when we take a first look at the score, we will see above the title of the movement and the title of the whole suite that it was written for Atahualpa Yupanqui. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I'm very sorry. He was also an Argentine musician, guitarist, a very important figure of the folklore music of Argentina in the 20th century, and this suite is dedicated to him. Now the whole suite is Suite del Recuerdo, so suite of remembrance or suite of memory, and we already covered that the first movement is Evocación, meaning evocation. Another thing that we have written down is in which tempo it should be played, and it says tempo rubato, and that the half note is 52 beats per minute. So tempo rubato already tells us that it's a very free tempo, and we are allowed to take freedom with the time and the rhythm. The composer also did write a couple of dynamic markings and some fingerings, as he is a guitarist himself. So let's start. At the beginning, in the first bar, we have the bass and then the melody. And then it goes on. So we have this E minor here in this 7th position, where it sounds exceptionally beautiful, in my opinion, and that already sets a tone, a sound, an atmosphere for the whole piece. The composer writes that so this is played with the thumb, obviously, but then also this as an arpeggio. So P-I-M-A. And then we have the C. For me, the C is not actually part of the first bar, but it's an upbeat to the second bar. And so on. So we always have that. It kind of also, it doesn't have a melody note on the first beat of the piece, right? We have the bass and the melody starts. So that would be the first mini phrase, so to speak. Okay, then in the second bar, we have that wonderful line in the bass. And you only have the high A in the melody. So it starts with, we already said, we have E minor and then A minor and then with the 7th. And in the third bar we're in B major, the dominant of E minor, the key that we're actually in the whole piece. And then also the upbeat to this G in the melody. Now we have this again, so it goes on with the chromaticism, right? So we started here. So it goes from E to the C natural in the bass, a whole chromatic line. first part. Now we notice that throughout the whole piece we have kind of the same pattern in the melody. So let's just play the melody separately. So you always have the chord in the beginning, and then it goes on to an upbeat, the kind of the higher note, and then it goes lower. Same thing. Now it's not really not a full chord. We could take this as part of the melody. This will also happen in the second part, but with different harmonies. Now, in order to get ideas about the phrasing here, I would definitely practice the melody separately and really hear also the chords that are coming up in the melody and their tension, okay, and which chord sounds more exciting than the other. So we start here, and then we have now about the fingerings. So he writes this in the beginning. So to take really this as a chord. There's another possibility to do it. Maybe not always, maybe you do it in the repetition because the first part does repeat, but you could also play this as a pure melodic line without letting anything like ring over the other note. With a little portamento passando. That could also be possible. Here, don't forget about the bass. Also here, for example, I think you wrote with the open strings, but I like to play it as a chord. So this is possible. But this also. Once again. In the right hand, it's pretty clear what you have to do. Because, for example, bars 2 and 4. So there's that. Immediately go to that movement of P-I-M, P-I-M, P, also in the bar number 4. So there it's pretty clear. Then we have bar 5. Now here, if you want to keep this chord, here you could do this. Okay, let it all ring over each other. Writes and here it's also possible to do it like that if you want to keep this, if you want to keep that idea through that it's always a chord. So that would be the first part. Then we go on to the second part, and with the notes, again, it will be possible to play it here. But what the composer writes, it's that. Again, this is, as I said, this is now a matter of taste. It's both possible. There is no right or wrong. It's just a matter of which idea, which sound you prefer, and what you actually want to show. Is it the pure melodic line with all the nice portamentos and whatever, or is it the chords? Now the second part is a bit trickier for the left hand. Here it's all good. Again, that bass, and this time it's actually written as a separate bass line, whereas in the first part this A minor was like part of the middle voice, but here it's written. Okay, so let's do that. Now here I take the whole barré because it's easier for my hand, but you're free to do it also up until here. And I do 3/4 right there. The composer wrote this. Or maybe he did it, I don't think he did it. If it's possible for you, this could be achieved with the small barré with the 4th finger. For me, unfortunately, it's not possible. So I don't do that. I do 3/4 and then I jump to the next, to the G on the 5th string with the 4th finger. Okay, so once again. To allow me to do that technically well. There's another possibility here, though when I tried it out in the tempo that I wanted, it didn't sound so well, but if you were to take this maybe at the slower tempo, and I don't know, depends also on anatomy of your hand, maybe it could work. So this is another possibility. Substitute the 4th finger for the 3rd right there. So once again, here I'm doing 3/4, and now in order to keep the D a little bit longer and to not jump with the 4th finger, I put the 3rd finger on G, and then you see here the intonation changes a bit. Maybe it works for you. That's just another possibility. Once again, and then we go on. We still stay in the barré. This is so nice. This C major with the 7th and the E in the bass. Now all of a sudden, F major, and the B7 again. And we go over to the repetition of the second part. Now, in order to bring this piece really to life, play around with different sound colors, with different phrasings, do stuff that you wouldn't normally do, just to hear how it sounds, and maybe then you take it down a notch and then it works. Okay, but here I think the timbre of the guitar is also very important for this piece, to find the right color for each chord, for each harmony, and to really sing it out well. Here it would be also a great exercise if you were to sing the melody before you played it, just to sing it, because that's where you will get also a lot of ideas for the phrasing. And the dynamic markings, we don't have so many actually. We have mezzo piano at the beginning. And then that's it. But in the second part, he does write on the second bar forte, so it means that he wanted a lot more intensity and then drama in that second part. And when you hear it, I mean, it does start with an E major 7th chord with the 7th, with the D being first in the bass. So we have crescendo, and there's a at the second in the repetition, retardando and diminuendo, and here the pianissimo with the thumb. So for this piece, I've showed you a couple of things with the fingerings and so on, and what the composer wrote for the dynamics and what he wrote for the fingerings. But I don't want to tell you, oh, play this note louder than this one, take more breath here, take a pause here, or flow through these notes. I want you to discover that on your own. You've probably heard this piece on YouTube played by many guitarists, and everyone has their own interpretation, and I want you to also find your own interpretation, because this is truly beautiful music. I mean, when you look at the harmonies, it's nothing super complex, but still it's so pretty and very melancholic and nostalgic, and I just want you to enjoy it for yourself and discover the music and the beauty of it on your own. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial, and if you want to get more individual professional guidance and support on your playing, don't hesitate to book a free trial lesson with us. See you in the next video.